As promised, we are joined by a former NFL running back. He did play 9 years with Seattle and Washington. He rushed for over 9,400 yards. He had 100 rushing touchdowns. He was the 2005 league MVP. He was the Offensive Player of the Year as well that year. He was a 3-time Pro Bowler, a 2-time All-Pro. He was named to the NFL All-Decade team for the 2000s. He was inducted into the Seahawks Ring of Honor last year. Of course, I'm speaking of Shaun Alexander, who joins me via Zoom. Shaun, my man, how you living? What's good, dude?
My brother, how you doing, man?
I am great, Shaun. How about you? How are things?
Man, it's good. Not everybody knows, but Valerie and I, we just had our 13th child last month, and so it's sleepless in Seattle. It is crazy, but it's good, man.
My
It's
God, I
good.
was going to start right there. I actually was going to start right there. I know you and Valerie did have your 13th child. So how are mom and baby doing? And right now, what is the range of your kids' ages?
It's 10 girls and 3 boys. Our oldest is a sophomore in college. She's 19, and then the baby's about a month and some change now. So it's wild, man. Like no other. Like everybody always like, oh, 2, 3, 4, I couldn't handle. I'm like, oh, tough enough. But I've got way more empathy for people now because I just at least understand what they mean by it's like I feel like I'm overwhelmed. But yeah, but it's tough. I feel like it's like having a good football team. You got to have some of the captains, some of the players that just kind of help run the team, and that's kind of how we're running it, man. Like I'm thankful that our oldest 3 were girls because they can hold it down a little bit better.
That's super. That's great. Shaun Alexander's joining us. Shaun, you and I have known each other a long, long time. You've always had this trademark positivity, this energy. I don't think you've lost any of this. I want to talk to you about the Seahawks for a minute. How do you explain to me how Pete Carroll, for instance, has maintained his level of energy and drive at age 71? I mean, it's one thing for you to have it in your mid-40s. How does this dude maintain that intensity and motor after doing it for as long as he has at that age?
I mean, isn't he amazing? I mean, you think when he was at New England, he fell right in between Parcells and Belichick, and people kind of like, did he do anything? And he was good there, but go to USC, does everything to bring that college university back up to where it is, and then we get the steal of the century by getting him to come to Seattle, and he's just high energy. The coaches or the kids love him, the players love him. I mean, he's just amazing, and he keeps it going. He wakes up with a day to go conquer, and that's what the great ones do. And he looks at it every day as I'm going to go dominate this day, and it's pretty exciting to watch.
I like that theory. Shaun Alexander joining us. When you and I spoke in October, you said at that time you really believed in the team after it got off to a strong start. So how much better do you expect the Hawks to be this season after they made that surprising run to the playoffs last season?
Yeah, when we gave the keys to Russell and Marshawn and the Legion of Boom, and they took it off to her, there was a couple of things that you knew about that team, which was a Pete Carroll thing. The defense had chips on their shoulder. They never felt like they were getting the recognition they deserved. The quarterback took care of the football, and they had running backs that wanted to run. Marshawn was special. We hope Kenneth can do the same thing. But the receivers were always the same way, chips on their shoulders, playing a little bit better than what everybody imagines. And we have 2, 3 phenomenal wide receivers now. I think this team could put together a nice little run. And you know how football works. Once the team starts to believe, it becomes really, really hard to beat them. It's going to be a fun year. Hopefully they take on challenges and stay healthy. And if they get out there like they did last year, it's going to be great to watch them at the end.
Shaun Alexander joining us. We're going to talk some college ball in just a minute. You mentioned Kenneth. I wanted to ask you about Kenneth Walker. Now, watching him last year as a rookie, man, I loved him. I absolutely love what I saw from him. He was unable to play in the preseason due to a core injury. What do you like most about his game, and can you see him ultimately developing into an elite back in this league?
Yeah, being healthy has to be a part of it. And so he's got to go figure that out. And, I always explain to people, you got to be good at being you. He gets into the holes and he explodes through it. He sets up blocks really, really well. And this offense is going to allow him to do those things. So he has to stay healthy and continue to take that thing that he got 5 yards on, turn those into 6 yards. Those things he used to get 2 yards on, turning at 2.5 yards. And he's already been really good at making bad plays seem to like just normal plays. And so if he takes that to another level, man, he's going to be one of those elite guys. I mean, his numbers say he's close. And I think that if he takes the next step and, he'll get 200 or 300 more yards and 2 or 3 more touchdowns. And now he's in that 10 touchdown, 1,200 plus a year kind of guy. And that's elite numbers.
Hey, Shaun, you know this as well as anybody. Again, if you're a running back, the better you play now, the worse it probably is for you. At least it seems that way. Would you want to play running back in today's game?
I think that's what I was just good at, So I would. I think business wise, until the league does something different, their guys would have to sit out earlier, and that's going to be rough because it creates this. Well, old school is do your contract and pay, and I tell people, I remember playing in the Pro Bowl making $400,000 while some of the other guys were making $5 and $6 million. And so when they gave me my big contract, that, $60 million deal, I was already 29 years old. And so it's one of those, it was more like a thank you, Shaun, for, like we said, all these trophies and wins, to get us to where we are, more than we're doing a new deal and we want you to earn this $6 million a year that you're going to get. I think that the only way that you can do it now is either NFLPA and the NFL league has to do a deal with running backs where they can create great escalators, great bonuses for guys that hit they break the rookie records, they break team records and things like that. So then it can be balanced out, because literally if you play great, you need carries. And if you get too many carries, now you're expendable. And so you're kind of caught in the 2020. And so I think that if they come up with a great way to make giving the players bonuses for doing well, then everybody's going to be happy, where you could maybe you get a $6 million or $8 million deal a year, but you can make $8 to $10 million in bonuses for breaking records. I think that now makes it comfortable for everybody to go forward. Otherwise, players are going to just hold out. 12 million is the only. That's kind of what you saw Josh Jacobs, Barkley, and who was it? There was the other running back. Oh, Dalvin Cook. How do you get guys with that much talent that were that important to their team? They were focal points of their offense, and now they're expendable. That it makes no sense. So there has to be something that changes for the league, for the running backs.
Shaun Alexander, my guest. So, Shaun, you're still connected to the college game with the Shaun Alexander Freshman of the Year Award. It's presented to the most outstanding freshman in the nation, honoring the impact that you made as an Alabama freshman when you rushed for a school record 291 yards and 4 TDs against LSU in 1996. What's the criteria for the award, and who are some of the names on this year's watch list?
Oh, man, it's really exciting. So, about 6 years ago, Mike Griffith, who's a great beat writer for Georgia, he was a beat writer in the 90s for Alabama. And he called me up after I retired and said, hey, we got to put you involved with college football somehow. Man, would you help me pick the college freshman All-American team? And so I did that with the Football Writers Association. It was great. It was a lot of fun. And the next year, he's like, man, we should name the freshman player of the year after somebody. And so I was just thinking, just like picking players, we're going to think of some great legends that have a name out. He goes, Shaun, no, we've all decided it's you. You're still relevant. You're the college cover for EA Sports and Madden. And man, MVP show, let's make it you. And I was so honored. And then we went to work. And so 5 years ago, Trevor Lawrence won it. Then Kenneth Gainsborough won it the next year. And so we're really proud for how their career started. Will Anderson won it the third one. Brock Bowers, he's the tight end of Georgia now. And then last year was Drake May. We've got 5 great players, and they all fit what we really want. Just talent that just jumps off the screen. Character, I tell them all when they win the award. Now, look, I'm too young for you to go be a goober, so don't mess my name up. So we always say, like, hey, talent's number one, but you can't be the guy that's just screwing everybody's name up, And then the next 2 is an ambassador to the university. The school has to like you. And then the last one, we say legend, and that's what the NFL calls a retired player. We got to see NFL talent. And so our 5 pre-winners have been amazing. We love the guys that we've picked. And this year it looks like it's just off to a great start. Some great players all the way around. We do this thing called the Hot 37. and it's the 37 watch list, the guys. Now, the winner doesn't have to be on that list, but it's been really cool watching these guys go from high school. Some of the guys were redshirted, and then watching them get ready to start this year. And then we'll go down to 14 in November, and then we'll pick the 5 finalists in December, and then we'll pick the winner right around Christmas, and then they'll be able to play their bowl game, known as the Prince of College Football, the Shaun Alexander Freshman Player of the Year.
The Shaun Alexander Freshman Player of the Year award. I love it, and I love any reason that gives me and you a chance to get caught up. My guy, you sound great. You look great. I love that award, Shaun. Great to have you back on. Thank you very much, and I know you and I will connect again soon.
We will, man. Bless you, man. It's good.
You too, Shaun. Be good. Congratulations on the new baby. Great to have you on the show, Shaun Alexander. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the bell to be the first to know when we do upload a new video.